In 3, 2, 1, we're live. So I remembered that I had a webcam that I wasn't using for anything else. So I decided to put it on the screen for my track computer. And hey, let's do a live thing for the fun of it. So we are now live. And I saw that there was one person waiting for a moment or two. I don't know if they're still there anymore. But hey, here we are. I'm going to drive my cars around a little bit. And if anybody has anything they want to chat about, put it in the chat, and we'll talk about it. Hey, Garth, good to see you, such as it is. Let me see how this works. There we go, Garth Fred. Yep. So finally got my track cleaned off. Now I can run cars around. So that's what I'm gonna do. And that's my dog playing with his toy. So this is the BRM. What is it? Auto Bianchi A112. Fun little car. No magnets, of course. Sorry, the camera isn't a wide angle, so you're only getting the middle of my track. Hey, Robert, from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Thanks for joining in. Just driving cars around. Oh, that was weird. Check the braids. Car acting funny, check the braids. They're doing weird things. And that's what grabbers are for. Ah, it came off in the corner you can't see. Let's try something else. I'm going to put on my BRM R8 Gordini, is what it says on the bottom of it. I don't know cars from diddly. I just learned them through slot cars. A little bit quicker, this one. These are 1/24th cars, by the way, that I'm running on my 1/32nd track. They're actually small enough that we could race them. There's about a 1/4 inch between the two. But bigger 1/24th cars are too close together on the 1/32nd track. My digital system is still primarily Scalextric Digital, but Scalextric Digital is compatible with Oxygen. So I also test Oxygen things and eventually try to get the digital guys in the area to do Oxygen because it's different. It's better in some ways. Being able to do more cars is always nice, especially on some of the guys with bigger tracks. My track is only 12 feet long in an L shape, so I got 4x12 on the long side and then an extra 4x4 to make the L. So it's not a big track. And as you can see, I got a lot of track crammed on here. So 6 cars is still pretty much the reasonable limit for this track. But one of the nice things about oxygen even on a track like this where we'll only probably run 6 cars, because you can do 20 cars in oxygen. Everybody in the club can have their own ID that they never have to change, at least until we get more than 20 members, which is unlikely anyways. But then I don't ever have to worry about re-IDing my car. Even if we only race 6 at a time, I can be number 15 or something like that, and always be number 15. So that's kind of cool. Having to re-ID cars is a necessary evil for other systems. I'll put on one of the cars that we're racing with the Analog Club. We're currently racing NSR GT cars with the so this is the NSR GT I'm running, Audi R8. This was a livery done by Gary Skip because he wanted to, and then I bought it off him because I love it. But our club is running this as angle winders with the Baby King motor, which is 17K at 12 volts. So it's got plenty of punch, but it doesn't go crazy fast. So gets up to speed quickly. So great for short tracks. And the NSR tires hook up pretty well on Scalextric Sport Track, especially after you do a cleaning, which is what I'm going to do right now. We usually use Scale Auto tire cleaner dauber because it's convenient. But NSR tires are even better when you clean them with lighter fluid. But this is mostly lighter fluid, so it does a pretty good job. I use a 9-volt battery on the braids, get the tires moving, and then do the dauber. My digital club was introduced to this concept by me, so they call it the Gobber Dauber. Is my last name. Gob. Now. So using the Gobber Dauber. And now I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but now the tires are nice and shiny. So even better traction. Yeah, that when NSR actually announced that they were going to do this livery years and years ago, and I put it on pre-order, but they never released it. Even after all these years, they have not released this livery. So when Gary had done this car, I was like, yeah, can you do one for me? And he's like, well, you can have this one. I'm like, done. Take my money. Oh, yeah. Shoo, shoo. So this track is about 54 feet long. I'm on the outside lane, I think. And I'm doing about 6.5 seconds. And it's a very technical track. You can only see the straights pretty much, but you can kind of see right here. Oh no, you can't see this one. You can see this one. So this is an R1 turn right here. That's as tight as it gets for Scalextric. And then there's another one. There's another R1 turn right over there. And then there's another one right back here. And most of the rest of the turns are R2 turns with a smattering of R3 and R4s scattered around to smooth things out. But this is the tightest and most technical track of all of the Analog Club tracks. now that I got my track cleaned off for the last few days, I've been just coming out, plopping a car on, running a few laps, putting a different car on, running a few laps. Like fly trucks. People say you can't drive a fly truck around an R1 turn. People don't know how to slow down correctly, apparently. This is no magnets. And I crashed, but that doesn't mean you can't do it. There we go. There is not a slot car that you can't get around the track. Just got to slow down better. Let's see if I can do one of my motorcycles. So I actually chipped these for Scalextric Digital. You can see the infrared thing is right there. And there's a chip in there, hidden in there. So I did 4 of these for Scalextric Digital. If you go back on my channel, you can actually see my digital club racing these things. These are a challenge to race because they're twitchy and they're super top heavy. And they come out at the drop of a hat. Nah. Much easier to drive digitally, though. I mean, the chipped car is easier to drive digitally. My track's in analog mode right now because the chips don't go at low speed on an analog track. They just get a burst once they get the right voltage to come alive. Then they get a burst of speed, which is not conducive to technical driving. Hey, Rui, I'm sure I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, and I apologize for that. But welcome to the live stream, chat, whatever. Feel free to rewind and see what kind of stuff I've been doing so far, but mostly just driving my cars around, having fun. Let's see if my Scale Auto 124s can get around the track. These tires are super old and dry, so they don't have a whole lot of traction. I've been trying to soften them up, but I think they're gone, and I'll have to replace them. Yeah. Not be sliding this much. Let's try the tire cleaner, see if it helps. Scale Auto tire cleaner for Scale Auto foam rubber tires. And give it a good coating. Click, click, click. I'm rubbing the cleaner into the tires. Yeah, the dauber is super convenient. It'll have an effect on pretty much any kind of rubber. And for silicone and urethane, it cleans whatever's on them. So it's good as a cleaner. And if it's a rubber tire, it's a conditioner. Sandpaper is good for when you got stock tires, like from Scalextric and Carrera, to take off that hard outer layer. But once you get the tire round and it's got good grip, probably want to stay away from the sandpaper because you don't want to wear the tires out too quickly. All right, let's see if this has better traction. A little bit better. If anybody's curious, I'm driving this analog car on my track wirelessly with the SCP-3 from Slotted connected to the CRI, or cartridge radio interface, or common radio interface, but basically the wireless receiver for the analog Slotted cartridge, which is plugged into my analog hookups over there on the other side of the track. This way I can stand here in front of where all my cars are. And drive. All right, catching up on chat here. Nomag is coming on in a few. Oh, Garth's going Nomag. That's a new one. Scale Autos use metal chassis. Yep. Yeah, the Revo slots are great cars, and I think that metal chassis has something to do with it. Oh, Clifton, you're thinking that the Scale Auto tires need some sandpaper? Maybe. It's worth a try. This seems to have done something to it, so. Of course, they hook up better on a wood track anyway. So. Nomag Mike. Oh, he's coming? All right, what should I drive next? I've got a whole lot of cars. Somebody just throw out a brand, and I'll grab a car from that brand if I have it. I have most brands, so I probably have a car from any brand. Thunderslot, yeah. I want to get one of the Shelbys, but I'm waiting for a Sunoco Shelby. This is my Thunderslot, Lola. These are great cars. We ran this as a series last year sometime. They're like NSR, except just like a hair better, you know, a slight evolution of NSR. Great cars. Let's see. Polycar. I have the 512. Oh no, technically it's a Slotted, I guess. But this is basically Polycar. Polycar is Slotted. I guess since this is Slotted, I don't technically have a Polycar car. Thunderslot away. What else? Thunderslot, Polycar. SEX Classic 4-wheel drive. I have some 4-wheel drive SEX cars. Where are you? Here you are. I'm not sure what you call classic, but these are pretty old. They're not super old, though. They still have the pop-out guides. But that is a geared 4-wheel drive. Crown in both the front and back. Got my Subaru. And then this thing. What is it? Oh, Seat Cordoba. These are coffee grinders. Let's drive one around. cool that it's got lights. This still has a magnet in it, though. Can I get it out? Yeah, I might have to take the magnet out. Let's see if this one has a magnet. Yeah, that has a magnet too. Let's take the magnet out. Nice thing about SCX cars is you take the magnet out from the outside. Just gotta unscrew the little thingy. 100% Brazilian digital system to compete with Ninco Slotex Electric. Hey, I'm always open to new digital system things. But if you want to compete these days, you want to be looking at a wireless system. So hopefully that's what you're talking about. MR slot car, yeah, I got a couple of those. Once I get this going around with no magnets, I'll pop out one of my MR slot cars. I have a McLaren and a 911 Evo. All right, no more magnet. Make sure. Yep. And this thing has hard stock tires, so it's probably just going to be a slippy, slidey mess. Yeah, that's not too bad. Plenty of sliding. Whee! Oh. Get some more sliding going on here. I'm calling the crane. All right, that's enough of that. And what was the other one? Oh, yeah, MR slot car. This will be my favorite MR slot car. This is, as you can see, a blue and yellow Marlboro livery, fantasy livery, that one of the guys in the Analog Club did for me. Fantastic. This crappy webcam does not do it justice. It's a beautiful car. He even took it to an auto shop and they did the final clear coat with straight up auto clear coat. This thing is hooked up. Nice and quiet too. It's running on foam rubber. Still auto foam rubber. And I haven't even cleaned them. It's still got good traction. Let's do the cleanup. Hey, Area 51. George, good to see you. Using the dauber on the tires. I'm going to sell pretty much every non-yellow and blue car I have eventually. Oh, yeah. There it goes. Shoo! Like a rocket. No mag, of course. I do still have some magnet cars. I have some digital sets that still have magnets for when I have the rare occasions that I have guests over who've never raced stock cars. I'll let them run around some digital cars with magnets in them. This is the kind of car you could just run for hours. Shaving hundreds, shaving thousands off your lap times. am I getting here? 7 seconds. Let's see if I can beat that. Get it under 7. There we go, 6.5. This is not the normal position I drive from either, so I'm being a little bit more timid than I normally am from my normal driving position. Yellow and blue. I'm actually surprised at the quality of this webcam. I have a focusing dial on it, so I can focus it at whatever distance, but it doesn't autofocus. So I'm fuzzy, but my track is good. Foam rubber, man. If you want to hook up on Scalextric Sport Track, Scale Auto foam rubber is where it's at. You have to replace the whole wheel, which means with cars like Scalextric and Carrera with knurled axles and pressed on plastic wheels, you got to replace. You either have to file or sand down the axle to get rid of the knurling, and then put the metal wheel on that has the foam rubber tires, or replace the entire rear axle assembly. But basically, it's foam rubber, like neoprene, right? So it looks like regular rubber tire, but if you're up close and personal, you can see that it's very, very small bubble foam, and it's super grippy. And with their tire cleaner, it basically, has a chemical reaction with the rubber on the outside surface, and it just hooks up. And because it's soft, because it's foam rubber, not hard like a regular rubber tire, it has that much more give in the turns and holds on even better in the turns than a really good hard rubber tire. Really? Excuse me. How long does that take to get it to get the raw MDF? Do you at least use like a tack rag or something to get all the dust off? That stuff just creates its own dust while it's sitting there. And the WD-40 doesn't blow up the MDF like water does. I don't know. That sounds like you're asking for trouble. But I guess once it soaks the MDF in, then it's repelling the water. That's interesting. I've never heard that before. Raw MDF is old school 60s. I was not slot racing in the old school 60s, so that would explain why I've never heard of it. I don't think anybody builds a track like that anymore, except for Clifton. And maybe somebody else. I might have to bring that up on tomorrow's Zoom chat. That is interesting. All right. Did we have any other suggestions? MR slot car. Nope. Didn't see any other suggestions. Is that all you guys got? Come on. Challenge me. I guess I failed on the Polycar challenge, so. Yeah, I didn't have any. Turns out I don't have any Polycars. I also don't have any Scale Auto F1, so you got me on that one. Eventually, I want to get Scale Auto or NSR F1. I want to try to get the guys to do a performance open wheel race. We race open wheels every once in a while, so we've got we've done the Scalextric Classic open wheelers. These guys. So this is a Scalextric, not a Polycar. So we've done this in Scalextric, but not Polycar. And we've done what's the other one? We've done Ninco F1s. The Ninco. There we go. We've done these guys, but it's just Ninco. So, yeah, the NSR and the Scale Auto are basically the same car, depending on who you talk to. So either one would be fine by me. Pro slot. Closest thing I have to a pro slot, I think I still have one. I'm looking through my drawers here. I don't really have anything that's close to a pro slot. You got me on that one. No pro slot. Team slot. I do have a team slot, but I don't have a cartridge. This Lancia Stratos. This was a white kit that I did my own paint job on and just threw decals on. But this one is, team slot. This one's got a potted chassis and everything. So it actually runs pretty good. And just for the heck of it, I put a 10K motor in it. So this thing is hecka slow. But it's also really fun. No mag, of course. So it doesn't get a whole lot of speed, but that means it's easy to throw around the turns. That's top speed right there. Top speed. This is slower than a Ninco Classic with an NC1 motor in it. Got some auto art. Nobody's mentioned auto art. Those things look great. And that's all I'll say about auto art. Yeah, hit that like and subscribe. Thanks, George. Hey, Shotgun Dave. Pioneer, I got you. We're going to run a Pioneer class next, actually, after we're done with our NSR GTs. We're going to run Pioneer and Scalextric Mustangs, but I got the Duke boys. And I went ahead and threw some nice wheels and axle on the back of this one. So it runs pretty nice. Just a good old boy. Never meaning no harm. He's all you ever saw, been in trouble with the law since the baby was born. Straightening the curve, flattening the hill. It was at this moment that they'd realized that they had made a bad decision. Auto Art Lambo. Yep, I got that one. I only got the only auto arts I have are because the car was special to me for some reason. Any of you 80s kids want to guess why I got this car? Scalextric will probably coming out with one soon. But this car has a special meaning for 80s kids. So, nope. That's a good one, though. People who know me. Oh, man, that's got no traction at all. I'm spinning the wheels. Miami Vice? No, good guess though. Think younger. In the 80s, I was 12, 10, 12. No other guesses? All right, I'll give you guys a hint. They're more than meets the eye. Oh. No, that's another good guess, but I don't think there was ever a red Lambo on the A-Team. Transformers. Robert got it. This is the car that was Sideswipe of the Transformers original series back in the 80s. I took the magnet. Oh, wait, no, I think the magnet's still in there. The magnet's still in there, and this slides around like there's no magnet and no traction. Oh, man. Pro X money down the drain. So the transition to oxygen when you have Scalextric is super easy because it's fully compatible. So you can literally slap an oxygen car on a Scalextric digital track and drive it around, and you're good to go. Lane changing and everything. And then to go full oxygen, all you need is the oxygen dongle, for the computer lap counting and stuff. And that's it. You're pretty much done. Throw some magnets under the track and you're done. Countach, yeah. Yeah, the ARC controllers being oxygen compatible is fantastic because you can outfit a whole bunch of cars and let people race them with the basic controller. I have tried Scorpius. Here's my Scorpius controller. I was an early adopter, and I was helping Rick test a lot of the early hardware. It has pros and cons. All the digital systems have pros and cons. I chose Oxygen. Hey, Shane from Down Under. Man, this is not too early for you at this point. I'm just going to scroll back through the chat and make sure I didn't miss anything here. Trans Am, anything? Yeah, Garth, I got the Mustangs. I'll pull out my Trans Am Pioneer and Scalextric cars. We're here in just a sec. All right, just waking up. That's my wake up time anyways, because I'm retired. Otherwise known as a stay-at-home husband. So this is my Pioneer. This is probably the one that I'm going to race. It's my own livery, of course. I bought the first set of Mustangs that Pioneer released, the red and blue 2-pack from their very first run of cars. So I still have those. And this is my Scalextric, which I might run. I'll have to do some more track time. This one is easy to drive. It's a lot more planted because it's wider and not as tall. Yeah, these are both Sidewinders. The Pioneer is faster, though. So we'll see if I can do some weight to bring the center of gravity down and make it a little bit easier to drive. But it's going to be one of these two guys. I'm going to go ahead and drive them around a little bit here. Of course, yellow and blue. Yeah, every time. And we're running these, no magnet, of course, with urethane tires, all gauge urethane tires. I'll probably run the Pioneer and hold on to the Scalextric for if we get any newbies joining us for racing, then I have a car to loan them. Besides, the Sunoco needs more yellow. There's not enough yellow on it. Look at that. It's mostly blue. Come on. I need more yellow. I mean, the wing isn't even yellow. Come on. or spoiler, I guess. Not really a wing. All right, and then the Pioneer. Yeah, you guys can even see that it's faster. Just a little more tippy is the problem. Whoop. I think when I was testing these out the other day, I was consistently getting a half a second faster on the Pioneer, no matter how hard I tried with this electric one. Maybe I can do a motor swap, but I'm not really that kind of guy. Just take it as it is, race it for what it is. Yeah, the Audi is what helped me learn, helped me realize my love for blue and yellow cars. So I actually have a shelf queen of that one for when my other one is busted up so much. I'll break this one out. Revell. No, I don't have any Revels. And that is by choice. I think I got burned on the Auto Arts. I'm like, nope. So the next time, so when I saw a Revell, I'm like, let's see how it goes. Nope. I'm not buying a Revell unless I absolutely have to. Yeah, I'm sure most of the guys are going to run Pioneer cars. I might ask them if they'll let us do a motor change, because I mean, Scaly motors run the gamut, but they're going to be slower generally. But if we can do a motor swap on the Scalextric cars, then that'll open up, because everybody's going to be running a Pioneer otherwise, which is fine. There are lots of cars, but it's nice to have a more varied field of cars. Revell are a challenge. Yes. I would not bother putting a Revell on the track until I did a full blueprint job on that thing. Running in the motor, lapping the gears, gluing in the bushings. Yeah, same with Fly. But I do have some Fly. And just got to find the right drawer. This is probably my favorite Fly car from the looks of it, because it just looks badass. And of course, this one's blue and yellow. But this body style, I keep forgetting the name of it. Mr. Storm. This body style just looks really cool. But this is a front-engined car. And yeah. The best Fly cars are these Fly cars with the pod, the spring-loaded pod. These things drive like butter. And we've run those as a series multiple times. Look at that. You can't even hear it. The track noise is louder than the car. If you don't have any Fly cars, Fly racing with the pod is the way to go. I hesitate to call it a Fly car because it's so unlike any other Fly car. And it's really sad that they didn't continue making cars and continue making the Fly racing cars. These are fantastic cars. I got rally cars, and I got two-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive. I was driving my keep forgetting what door it's in. I was driving this guy around a little while ago. For a four-wheel drive geared SCX. I had a different Lister Storm at first because, like I said, I liked the body style. And it was the only livery that was available at the store that I bought it from. And then I saw that livery, and I'm like, yeah, gotta buy it. All right, where should I drive? I'm gonna have to spend a minute putting cars away when this video is done. Oh, here's one. Don't get a whole lot of talk. Spirit. They're like, in fact, SCX did a partnership with Spirit. They might have been partly owned by the same parent company. I don't know. But these have pods of a sort. They do their thing. But these cars are quick. We ran these as a series because we basically all got this same red and silver promotional livery thing for cheap. And then I stuck some duct tape on. This was before my yellow and blue craze. So might have to re-livery this one if we ever race these again. Wow. It still has traction. I haven't put this on the track in years. Let's do the dauber. All right. See if that helped. Sometimes it doesn't. Like you put that stuff on some super hard auto art tires or something, that's not going to help at all. A little bit better. Oh, yeah. There it goes. Spirit cars are pretty good. But sometimes they need a little TLC. Last time we ran Spirits, we ran the, what is this, the Dallara? Yeah, we ran the Dallaras. This is my really terrible. I tried to make it look like splattering running paint, which it kind of does, just in a bad way. But these are nicely potted cars. And we ran these with foam rubber tires as well. These cars are pretty good. That needs a tire cleaning. I had a Mosler. I got plenty of NSRs. I had a Mosler a long time ago, but they pretty much are a single class car. You pretty much can't race anything else against a Mosler. So if you have a club race with Moslers, then they're all Moslers. And we never ran Mosler races. So the one that I had, I sold to a friend. But you know me, if they come out with a Sunoco Mosler, I'll buy it anyways. Or Bill Stein or Napa or whatever. Ah, that's better. I don't have an NSR Ford GT. My NSR classics are, actually no, I guess I do technically. This is a Mark IV. So I have a GT, but it's a Mark IV. So I forget that this is a GT because it it looks so much different. But of course, yeah. Camel. NSR4 GT Mark IV. And I have a P68. This was my first NSR Classic. Did my own livery on this one. These cars are butter. The last time we ran NSR Classics, most of the guys bought the P68s because they run so good. Yeah, a lot of clubs ban Moslers. The Mosler is the poster child of NSR car smooshing. doesn't look at all like a real Mosler. Scale proportion wise, anyways. But yeah, I got a pretty good variety of cars. Like I tell people, buy a variety of cars, right? Because you never know what you find out that you like or don't like until you're driving a bunch of cars. If all you got is Carrera or Scalextric, you need to buy more cars. You need to buy some other brands. You need to buy some slotted and some NSR and MR slot cars, Scale Auto, Fly, Ninco, SCX. I have a few F1s. I'll go ahead and drive one around here. I'm going to go with the Ninco because it's got steering. It's got steering. Which has no positive effect on driving, but it's cool. Oh, that's not too bad. I took the magnet out. We usually run them no mag. That actually still has some good traction to it. It's always nice when you put an old car on the track and the tires are not rock hard. Let us do the dauber. See if it can get even better. Oh shit! That happens. Oh. Time for some super glue. Let me read some chat here. Nope, I'm running all analog right now, but I do have a big old stack of digital cars, but they don't run very well in analog mode. They're too twitchy. Pioneer Legends, yeah, I got those Sunoco ones I can break out. But first, I'm going to put some super glue on that wheel. Just got to get some super glue. So this is what I recommend for super glue. Pack of the cheapest super glue in tiny little bottles that you can find. I think this pack of 6 was like $5 or something on Amazon. So I got a 12 pack for $10 or something like that, or 3 or 4 packs of 6 for super cheap. Because you almost never use super glue, and then the bottle you've opened is hard. You can't use it anymore. So now I only open these tiny little ones because the next time I open it, next time I need super glue, it's probably going to be garbage. All right. All you need is one tiny little drop on the axle. Since Ninco uses smooth axles instead of knurled axles, which has its pros and cons, obviously. Put a tiny little drop on the end of the axle. Come on. Come on. Did I not puncture it? Oh, I punctured it. All right, come on. Tiny little drop on the axle. Is this already garbage? There we go. Ah, now I got too much of a drop. And that's the challenge. Okay. There we go. Instant fix. I have not tried UV glue. Ant, my track is not an Arc Pro track. It is a, I'm running it in analog mode with pure analog. My track for digital is powered by the C7042 APB Scalextric power base. Okay, so if your Arc Pro flashes red in analog mode, it doesn't do it in digital, which is weird. But yeah. Usually, an overload is usually caused by the rails being connected somewhere. Either if you did power taps, you've connected the rails with your wiring, or if you have, if your layout is designed such that one lane becomes another, and when you come back to the power base, you've changed lanes without actually changing lanes, or you put in an odd number of the crossover pieces, not lane changers, but crossovers, then the lanes have been merged into one, and that'll basically be an overload situation. So double check your wiring, double check your layout, make sure you don't have anything that causes one set of rails to be connected electrically to the other set of rails. And if that's not it, the easiest way to check that is to basically take the base out of your track. So it's just the base on its own, right? And then if you put it in analog mode and it still flashes red, then there's something wrong with it. Probably needs to go back or get replaced. Yeah, that makes sense, Clifton. UV cured glue lasts longer. The gel lasts longer. Yeah, I don't like the gels though. The gels that I've tried take too long to cure. That's why I like the regular super glue, because it's done. You don't have to use a UV thing, but you also don't have to wait. It's pretty much just instant. Ninco carts. I do have a Ninco cart. Or no, I did. But one of my friends was trying to finish a set, so I sold him my one Ninco cart. But let's drive this F1 around. I didn't get a chance to actually drive it after I cleaned the tires and repaired it. There we go. A little bit better. Probably check that other wheel, make sure it's not coming off. Yeah. The other wheel's coming off. Let's put that one on. Sorry, everybody. I can't run every single car that everybody requests. At least not as they request them. Yeah, I had a Ninco cart for a while. Actually, I had two for a while. But one of my analog club friends was trying to put together a set. And then I then Scalextric came out with their carts, so I bought a bunch of those because they're much easier to chip because they're designed to take the Scalextric chip. So still waiting for a 6th one to make a full 6-car set. And the main problem with these is that there's no good tire replacements, and the tires don't have good traction, and with magnets they don't drive good. So you take the magnets out to make it drive better, but then there's not enough traction. So I'm basically hoping that someday Paul Gage does urethane tires for the Scalextric carts, because the Ninco cart tires don't fit. So, and they don't seem to respond to treatment. So those just kind of are dead in the water at this point. All right, let's see if this Ninco will go. That's much better. The tires, the wheels are not coming off now. All right, let me do one more cleaning. They're still pretty supple. These got some good rubber on them. I think they're rubber. It might be urethane. Urethane. I don't think they're urethane. No, these are not urethane. All right, Ninco F1. There we go. Yeehaw. No mag. Guess I'll need to get a longer USB extension cable for this camera so I can get a better view of the track. Because you're only ever seeing the car when it's going the fastest. You don't get to see it in the turns. Except for this one. Yeah, those are fun. Hey, see you, Robert. Yeah, hopefully your base is okay, Ant. Here's a rally car. This one. No, not this one. This one? Yeah, this one. So this is a Ninco rear-wheel drive with an NC1. No magnet. This will be. Yeah, throw it around. Yeah. Like driving a classic, except it's a rally car. Let me check something here. How many subscribers do I have? Anybody want to check that real quick? Can't get there from here. I'm going to have to open a new tab. All right, 1971. That is awesome. If I didn't want more subscribers, I'd say tell people not to subscribe because 1971 is the year of my birth. So, but that means we've only got 29 more subscriptions to get to be at 2,000. which is cool. So I'm going to announce it here first. So if you're on this chat, you're the first to know. Or if you're watching this later because it's recorded, you'll be the second to know. I'm going to do a live stream as soon as possible after 2,000 subscribers. So if you're not already subscribed, subscribe. I'll do a live stream with a live giveaway of some sort. Just because I can, and it's fun. I might give away a car I've already got. I might give away something I don't got. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So, at some point in the not too distant future, 2K giveaway live stream, and it will be a stream during which you must the stream itself. The people on the stream are the ones who will be eligible for the giveaway, right? So if you want to win whatever I give away, you have to be there on the live stream. So hopefully it's at a time where you can be there. Otherwise, go take a quick cigarette break and hop onto the stream from your phone. But yeah, I'll figure out the details at some point in the near future. But for now, hit that subscribe button, and that means if you're not subscribed, why not? If you're here watching me live drive my cars around on my track, why in the heck wouldn't you subscribe? You're already getting the worst of me here. So, why not go ahead and subscribe to get the best of me? So, yeah, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. As soon as we hit 2,000, I'll schedule a another live stream like this, and we'll give something cool away. Not something lame, something cool. I'm open to suggestions. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to toss them in the chat or in the comments below. All right, let's try something weird. Can't get much weirder than this. BRM Racing. What do they call this? Not just motorcycle. It's a two-man motorcycle. It's something. Sidecars. There we go. Sidecars. BRM Racing Sidecar Motorcycle. Of course, it was blue and yellow, so I had to buy it. And this is it technically 1/24th? These guys look big for 1/24th. I think they're probably like 1/18 or something, actual scale. But this thing sounds like a box of rocks, but it goes. Let's give it a tire cleaning. I know these are good tires. There we go. This one was pre-painted. I do everything I can to avoid painting cars because I do not like my results. So this is how it came. They did, I don't know, like 4, maybe 6 pre-painted sidecars, but I think the white kits were more numerous. And somebody is messaging me, so I'm going to check my messages. Yep, nothing important. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah. Can't really get up to full speed on my tiny little track, but it goes. You guys just see a blur. There it is. Oh no! Ask your questions, dude. I like hearing my own voice. Any questions you got, you just feel free to post them. And if I don't get to them now, then I'll check back later. They made a Spanish moon buggy slot car. That's awesome. Probably the sidecar is probably my weirdest, but I do have. I think this is Ninco, or I forget who made this, but this is a car. This is a slot car. Little inline ATV slot car, dude. But for whatever reason, the guy just does not like sliding in this track. I think it's because it has no turn, and it's just and the tires have no traction at all. These are basically they're falling off the rim. So if this had good tires, it would be fun. But otherwise, it's just something to say, ooh, that's a slot car. The Ewoks, yeah, I had I got one of the speeder bikes. Let's see, I think I still have it. Yep. Yep, I got the Luke speeder bike. But I ended up killing the motor. Or no, I killed the motor on a different car. What was it? I think I killed the motor on one of these carts, actually. These have the same motor. Yeah. I accidentally killed the motor on a cart. And these have the same motor, which is that weird kind of brick thing that some of the HO cars use. I think they use the same motor in the. So this is just a really toy now. No motor. I was just going to give it away. But yeah. These are kooky. I think they made it was probably Scalextric Micro, not 132. But I think Scalextric did a Star Wars TIE Fighter at X-Wing race set too. You know, really weird, they made a Velodrome bicycle racing set with the little dudes. I think their feet actually go around on the little mechanism or something like that. But yeah. Or the horse racing. They did horse racing a while ago. All right. Keep dropping the wheel. It's a little bit too big for the 132nd track. Oh, shit. Now, here's something you probably didn't expect me to have. A friend had an old box of stuff in his attic, and he said, hey, Greg, you want this? So I put silicone sealant on the tires to make them silicone tires, basically. I think it'll actually go. Let's see what happens. Yep. Come on. There we go. The silicone is peeling off of the tires, of course. And this motor is so old and it doesn't go nearly as fast as it did in its prime. But I have a 1/24th scale wing car. Can you believe it? Me neither. But here's a cool one. BRM Camaro 1/24 scale. It's like a giant Revo slot. Or Revo slots are like little BRMs. Get in there. Mr. Road America, I am currently controlling my track pure analog. So many years ago, to get the analog guys to come over and race on my track, I pretty much had to put in actual analog hookups and analog control. So I'm controlling this with the slotted wireless receiver at my analog control station. See if I can show it to you. There we go. This is plugged into my analog hookup. This is what's controlling the cars wirelessly from my SCP controller. I have, in the past, used the digital cartridge with the APB, but I found it a little bit too fiddly with having to have the power wire connected and everything. So kind of, and most of the guys in the digital club didn't get them, so it seemed kind of unfair for them to be using the Scalextric controllers and me to be using this. So basically just stuck with the regular Scalextric controllers. Eventually, we more or less all decided to go ahead and invest in TrueSpeed controllers, which you've probably seen. But this is the TrueSpeed Scalextric digital controller. And so we all got these. And these are still wired controllers, but they're really high quality. They feel really good. Good level of control. Great controllers. So we pretty much, the digital club all switched over to TrueSpeed controllers. So I pretty much only use my slotted controller for analog racing, or at some point in time, oxygen racing. Keep the rubber side down. See you, Clifton. GG Trotting Horses sets in 66, working legs. Jump jockey. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, lots of crazy electrical racing sets of various kinds over the last 60, 70 years. That sound you might be hearing is the exceptionally deep wood guide on the Camaro running on the bottom of the slot over the lane changers. So it's going clickety click. It's not hurting anything. Let's do a live update. See how many subscribers I got. Did anybody subscribe now is the question. Let me refresh. Two people subscribed. Yay! Now we are 27 people away from 2,000 subscribers. You can get a TrueSpeed with a sensitivity knob. In fact, the one that I showed has a sensitivity knob on it. Most of the guys didn't use it because you can only turn the sensitivity up. Really, you can't really make it less sensitive than it starts out, which is fine for magnet cars, but we don't really race magnets very much. But what we found is that if you turn the sensitivity up for whatever reason, you end up burning more fuel because you're using higher throttle levels more because your controller is more sensitive. So we almost always ran fuel races with fuel simulation and pit stops of various kinds. So most of the guys basically stopped using the sensitivity. We use the sensitivity options in the software So like in RCS 64, we could change the throttle curve to be an S curve or a low speed curve or whatever. That helped. That helped a little bit. Thanks for being a long-term subscriber, John. Ant, in response to that, you're probably referring to the Analog Club Racing. The club that I race with uses technically they call them sprint races, so it's a 2-minute long heat. But we race crash and burn, which means if you come off the track for any reason, you're out of the heat for the rest of the heat. But we do a pause at 1 minute. So a 2-minute heat is actually 2 1-minute heats combined. And then if you came off in the first minute, then you get to go back on for the second minute. So obviously, ideally, you don't come off ever. But if you come off early, then you at least get a chance to get some more laps in your second minute. But what you don't want to do is come off early for both minutes and then have 0 or 1 laps, which has happened. In fact, last night, I got knocked off early on the second minute of a heat, and so I lost like 8 laps. And the way that the races go is that everybody rotates randomly through all the lanes. So basically, everybody gets to race every lane, and we do 3 full rotations. So that means everybody races every lane 3 times, and the laps are cumulative. And the each heat gets bonus points for your position. So if I'm in the lead, then I get 4 bonus points. If I'm last, then I get 1 bonus point. So you want to get your laps in, but you also want to be in the lead when the timer runs out, because then you get more bonus points. That was done to keep people from just getting their last lap and they knew they weren't going to get more laps and then stopping before the timer was up, because there were guys good enough to know that the minute was almost done and they didn't want to walk around the track to go get their car. So they would just get their last lap and then stop. So that's why the bonus points were added, so that they would keep racing until the end of the minute. And then at the end of the night, all of the laps and all of the bonus points are added up, and your total number of points of laps and bonus points is what determines your placement for the race night. And then if there are any ties of total points, then the first tiebreaker is number of wins. So even if you and another guy have the exact same number of total points, if he got more laps, or if you got the same number of laps, well, no, he'd have to get more laps and less wins for you to win by number of wins. But that's the first tiebreaker. And then if you have the same number of wins and laps as a guy, the second tiebreaker is fastest lap time, I think, best lap time. And it rarely goes that far. And then if you still need a tiebreaker, which means that you both got the same number of total points, same number of wins, and the exact same fast lap time down to 1,000th, I think, which almost never happens, then it's alphabetical order. So if you're tied up through all of those tiebreakers, then it's what your name begins with is what determines the winner in that case. And by that time, nobody cares, because it's like, holy crap, that actually happened. Oh, Mike, sorry, I forgot your channel name. Just looking at past comments. Yeah, I think I think at this point, half of my subscribers are because of the worldwide chat. I was gonna call this stream the Auburn Narrow chat, but then I changed my mind. So. Anywho, we're at 1 hour and 24. I'll go to 1.5 hours, so we got about 6 minutes before I'm gonna go ahead and call it quits and let you guys do something better with your life. And I'll go get something. Well, no, I've got a drink right here. I'm gonna drink now. Yeah, Scott, the quick guys are the quick guys. But because we run crash and burn, it's not uncommon for a quick guy to lose a bunch of laps because he crashed or he got taken out. We frown upon takeouts, but they happen on accident, and it's usually fairly clear whether or not somebody did it on purpose. Not always, but mostly. Yeah, and so it's upsetting when you're a fast guy and you get taken out and you lose a bunch of laps. But that's racing. That's basically how we all act. That's the nature of a bunch of cars on a race car track. There's gonna be crashes, unintentional crashes. Yeah, simple rules, easy to follow. But yeah, I'd say the top 2 or 3 are usually, if not the same number of laps, then within a lap, and then it falls off from there. So like the top 2, 3, maybe 4 guys will all be within a lap or 2 of each other, and then the next guy is like 5 laps behind, and then the next guy is like 10 laps behind that guy, and so on and so forth. But the way that we race is designed to reward consistent and conscientious racing. So, as we call it, you have to drive clean. So not only you have to drive clean in order to pass somebody and not take them out and be a dick for taking them out, but you have to drive clean and get past without getting taken out. So if you're getting passed by somebody who's faster, just let them go by, because you'd rather get your laps than try to keep ahead of him for 1 bonus point. If you're racing somebody, if you're holding them off by swinging your tail around and thinking, oh, geez, I might get first place, you're more likely to knock yourself out of the slot and lose a bunch of laps. And not only will you lose the bonus point, but you'll also lose a bunch of laps. So a lot of times it's like, okay, do I push harder and try to catch up to this guy or stay ahead of this guy? Do I have enough buffer in my speed to do that without coming out? Or am I risking coming out by doing that? So on the same night, I will have heats where I'm confident that I can catch up to a guy or stay ahead of a guy. And then there are heats where I'm just, for whatever reason, just the slot has less power in some spots, or my car doesn't have as much traction as I had in other slots, or whatever the case may be. And I'm just like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna push hard. I'd rather just get my laps, because it'll benefit me more to get more laps. There have been races won by guys that don't win a single heat, but they never came out of the slot. So they got pretty much every lap possible for all of their heats, but they lost every single heat, or didn't win any of the heats, didn't come in first place for any of the heats. And they won the race night because they had a higher total number of points, because they got all their laps. And even the fastest guys didn't get all their laps because, maybe they didn't come out early, but they came out towards the end and lost a lap or 2 for multiple heats. And then, for those heats, they lost a lap or 2 as well as a bonus point or 2. And then, they get knocked down. Last night, let me just check. I took pictures of it this time. Last night, I didn't do too bad. In our IROC race, which was fly trucks with magnet, so that was a challenge, I got second place. I was 2 laps behind first place, and I got more bonus points than the other guy. But his total, I got 1 more bonus point than the leader, but 2 less laps. So his total was 1 higher than mine. And then for the NSR racing, I got 3rd place, and I was 10 laps behind first place, and I only got 3 wins. But there was more crashing. I took some video of both of those. I took a video of 1 heat of both of those races, which I'll stick on a video later and post tonight, so you can see us flinging fly trucks around, and you can see us flinging our NSR cars around. And yeah, that's how we race, and it's a lot of fun. Digital racing, completely different rule set. Completely different rule set. The only similarity with digital racing is that I do bonus points for position at the end of the race. I'll tack on some bonus points if we're doing multiple heats. But most of the time we do long races, 50, 100 laps or whatever with fuel and all kinds of things. So very much a different situation for digital. Let me check the last comments and then we'll call it quits. Slot cars are life. Everything else is just waiting. No right or wrong. Yeah, as long as you're having fun, whatever your rules are, as long as everybody understands and agrees to the rules, then everybody's playing by the same rules. It's when people stop playing by the rules of the club and get all whiny about it, then they need to go make their own club. Have fun, make your own club. For our rules, you cannot change cars throughout an entire series. If you change cars, then you lose all of your race win points up to that point. So if I was racing my Audi and then decided to switch to my Aston Martin or my Mercedes, I would lose all of the points that I'd accumulated up till then. So generally, we if we have more than one car, then we figure out which one we want to race for the whole time, and make sure it's up to it, and keep it properly tuned so it's not losing wheels or wearing out the braids or whatever. And we race that same car every week for 2 months, and then we pick another type of car to race. Anywho, that is the end of my live stream, and I will reiterate for anybody who came on later. You're the first to know that at 2,000 subscribers, we're going to do another live stream, and I will do some kind of giveaway on that stream. This is totally not connected to the Worldwide Slot Car Chat, which I'll do another giveaway. This will be a specific giveaway just to celebrate 2,000 subscribers, and the people eligible to win will have to be on the live chat, on the live stream at the time. So I'll make sure that is well known in advance so you can set an alarm and be there. And I'm not sure if we'll decide the prize before then or decide the prize right then and there, as well as who's going to win that prize. But we'll have a lot of fun doing it. So if you're not already a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button, and we'll get to 2K very soon, and we'll do that. And then, like I said in the past on the Worldwide Slot Car Chat, we'll also do a Worldwide Slot Car Chat giveaway. Except that's separate. That'll be like our normal giveaways. The live stream giveaway will be a live giveaway. So maybe we'll decide what I'll give away and give it away on the live stream. So, yeah. Subscribe. Catch you guys later. Bye.